Thanks, Rayleigh. Okay, well, grand rising to everybody. Thank you for making it on a Saturday. I know it's a busy time of the year and we've all got things to do, but thank you for making it. It will be recorded. So if you know somebody who couldn't make it and they would like to listen to it, we will make it available to share. Um, all right, so it's very exciting times. You have all been members of TSASA for quite a while now, and you understand the struggle that we have of trying to get out of the banking system and all the cabal systems. And what happened with what we're doing now came as a trial and error from my side. If you know me, I'm always venturing into things head first and testing things and see if it works. So what we've now established is a ecosystem that is outside of the banking system. And what I mean with that is that we can now take our fiat monies out of the banks and put it into a digital wallet. So just to give some background, we met with the CEO of Cellbucks. I knew that this wasn't a possibility, but I wasn't sure if they could actually meet the standards that we have as living men and women and being sovereign going forward. So, just mute your mics, please. Okay. So who's got a hot mic?
Max, just unmute yourself again. Accidentally pushed you. That's all right. Guys, please put yourselves on mute. Okay. It's important because we're all busy with the recording. Thank you.
Okay, there's definitely an echo.
Max, you can just mute them. Just go into their mic and mute them.
I'm trying to see who's here now.
It's Galaxy 10.
Okay, I can't actually.
I'm trying to find it. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec.
He's fine now, Maxie.
I think he's off. I'm speaking in a correction.
It sounds better. Okay. All right. So whilst testing the system, and I liked everything that it was about, the big test came in with signing up as a merchant. As living men and women, we do not register anything. We do not sign online contracts. So that was a big test. And when I opened up the merchant joining form, the first thing it kicked out was CIPRO registration number, tax number, VAT number, all of these things. And I just closed it and I said, okay, no, this is not for us. And I actually left it. Then Monica actually got hold of the CEO and discussed what we need and what we want. And from that, they're completely compliant in the financial sector, if I could put it that way. And it's very, very seldom that somebody from that sector would accommodate our needs. So I'm very, very impressed with Adani, he's actually the CEO. And he said, well, that's not a problem. We can change everything in the back office to accommodate living men and women. So when you join as a merchant, I could now download the full document. Galaxy A10, please. Okay, so I could now download the full document. I could read through it. I can signed every page with blue ink and also then the agreement page. And I actually want to show you that because this is very important because we do not want to go back into the system. So once we got that done, we had another meeting and said, okay, Don, but now what can we do further? I just want to show this to you. So you can see now it's done with a red, can you see that? It's blue ink and the red thumbprint. So it's a living man and woman who's now a merchant being Maxine trading as a live holistic. Okay, and that's what I want. I don't want to have a registered company in the system. So then the next step we said, okay, now as TSASA, what we are looking for is a system out of the system. And I said, well, we can do that easily. So what they're doing for us is creating our own virtual treasury. And in this treasury, we'll have the main treasury wallet and all the committees in TSASA will have their sub-wallets. This makes it transparent. We can track exactly where the funds are going. Nothing can go missing. So if we've got funds, for instance, Raleigh needs funds to fly down to Cape Town for a court case, for instance, we can transfer funds into the litigation wallet. And from there, we can pay Raleigh directly. This is not like a bank where you're going to wait a day or two. It's instantaneous. Within 2 seconds, you've got your funds. The same is happening with the health committee, where we're busy establishing an alternative health system that supports holistic and holistic healers. So that will be all your herbalists, your naturopaths. If you want to not go to a normal MD on your medical aid, which is so expensive in any case, and you're not getting healthy. So now you can actually purchase your herbal remedies and see holistic healers. Okay, but that's another thing that we're not going to discuss today. But all of those committees will have their sub-wallets, and we can track exactly where the funds are going. Okay, so that's in a nutshell. Now, if you open a wallet, it means you're out of the banking system and you can communicate with inside this ecosystem. Then I said to Don, okay, fantastic, but some of you have also heard about BcoinWise. And I investigated that system to say, okay, how does it actually work? And it's actually so well thought out. Now, if you're not familiar with that, just quickly, when you go to a shop and you swipe your card, there's a transaction fee, a banking fee that is paid to the bank. But now we've got the Cellbucks wallets. So a portion of that fee is actually being distributed back in between the members. So you're earning back on all your spending, whether you're buying a Checkers, Pick and Pay, Incredible Connection, KFC, you are actually earning back on your own spending, but you're also earning back on everybody else in the community spending. So now we're tackling another issue, and that is ending poverty in South Africa. Because if you look at the bigger picture, you are now creating a lifelong, a recurring income, a passive income by earning in any case of what you're spending. So when I said to Don, great, we've got now the wallet, but how can we still link in with the BcoinWise structure so that our members can actually also earn? And he said, not a problem. And Bob's your uncle. We can now earn back on everything that we spend. And we've got a system that works completely out of the banking system. Then just something else that I want to mention to me, which is very important, that's the merchant accounts. I'm sick and tired of the Pick and Pays and the Checkers and everybody getting richer and richer, and we are just not making money. So by having this system, we can now have the same benefits as the big Pick and Pays and the Checkers. What I mean with that is, let's say Susan, my neighbor, bakes cakes for events. She can now sign on as a merchant under TSASA, and she can take her payments with the voucher. Okay, I'll take questions now. So she can earn, and everybody in the community is earning back on buying cakes from her. All right, so that's very exciting. If you are doing building, if you do rubbish removal, it doesn't matter what you do as an income, you can now come on as a vendor. And in TSASA, we can then now create a whole hub where we can support each other and buy from each other and use each other's services, just like the big Pick and Pays and the Checkers. Okay, so I think that wraps it up very shortly. I know there will be a million questions, so let's start with questions. Anybody? I yield. Very quiet.
Maxine, well, let's start off by saying thank you to all of you that put in the hard elbow grease and for the incentive of starting this. Thank you very much. I think it's a milestone in what we want to achieve and the bigger picture and the end goal. So I just want to say thank you.
No, thank you, girl. Yeah, I'm very chuffed because at some stage I just hit a wall when I saw all those VAT numbers, registration numbers, and all these things. I thought, oh no, it's just never going to work. And the corporate system never listens to us. And yeah, so somebody heard us. So I take my hats off to the team at Cellbucks for hearing us. Just out of interest sake, they created a whole community for clicks as well. So it's on a very similar basis. However, we're living men and women, and they respect that. And everything that we do going forward, we don't have to comply to the cabal rules. So yeah, a big thank you to them as well. I know Roger wanted to ask, how do you actually transfer funds to somebody? He asked me that in the week. I think that might be a good time now just to give you a short example. Let me just show you. I'm going to share screen.
Maxine,
Yes, sure.
Maxine, Joseph's hands is up.
Oh, thank you. Joseph, please ask your question.
Hi, Maxine. Hope you're good. Joseph here.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi. So this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Can you just explain a little bit how the wallet works? Somebody just asked a question how to transfer money or funds out of the wallet, but also how would it tie into, for example, a business that one runs, and you're talking about buying at KFC. How does that work? Does it work with a bank card or transfers?
Okay.
I've got no idea how it looks like.
Okay.
Thanks.
First of all, it's a digital wallet. So while we transitioning to the new wallet system, everybody's using it, we will need to transfer funds with the EFT into the wallet, and then it gets converted into what they call vouchers. So when you go to Checkers, for instance, and you buy your groceries, at the till, where you swipe your card, there's a keypad thing where you swipe your card. All you're going to do now is, instead of using your card, you're going to type in your voucher number. It automatically takes off the amount. You get an SMS and says, you've just spent this amount at Checkers. This is your new voucher number with the balance remaining of X, Y, and Z. I can walk out of Checkers straight into Dis-Chem, and I can do my next purchase. All we're doing is we're changing the habit of swiping the card by using the digital system. If you come on as a merchant, you will have your own platform where we're actually going to do the transaction. So on my laptop, it's physically just where I log in, and my client buys all my products that she's buying, and she's doing a session on the quantum machine, and together it's 2,500 Rand, and I do the transaction online, and immediately it's in my account. And I've also got a personal wallet. So I've got my business wallet, being a merchant, and I've also got my private wallet. Does that answer your question? Do you want me? I'm going to do a screen share quickly.
Yeah, a little bit more. So will Checkers have the system on their system, and this voucher number, is that like a secret pin, replacing a secret pin type of thing?
They've actually been doing this for years. We just never knew about it. The whole click system runs on it. So if you look at the big merchants that are on board, you've got even Takealot. Monica is actually more on the ball with the big merchants, but Dis-Chem, Clicks, Checkers, Pick n Pay. I'm even paying my municipal account, my property tax, and my prepaid electricity I'm buying, and I'm actually earning back on it. So it's KFC. I don't do takeaways. Monica, don't you just want to jump in here? There are so many merchants, but okay, let me share the screen. Okay. Can you see the screen yet?
Okay,
Yes.
coming.
Yes,
Can we
we
just
can.
make it bigger if we have to? I yield.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I think you will have to make me bigger on
No,
your side.
it's only can only be done from your side. Or
Oh.
it's fine, but I just thought maybe we could make it bigger. But yeah, they will have to scroll up and down. I yield.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to see where I'm going to go. Okay, so when you go into your Cellbucks wallet, this is the platform where you go in. I'm trying to see, I've got so many boxes in the way here. Okay, so it's cellbucks.com. Once you have signed up with a link that we sent out on the user guide, you've signed up, and immediately it creates your wallet on Cellbucks, and it gives you a PIN. That is your PIN code that you're going to be using. I just want to show something. If you log into Cellbucks, I'm going to just use my personal one. So your username, we work on the country code, which is 27, and it's always your cell phone number. You drop the 0. Okay, so that is basically your account number. Then I'm just going to put in my PIN. Let me just double check I put that in correctly. Okay, when you work with Salbucks, it's important to note that you only press something once. There's a security feature built in here to keep the bots out. So do not go and press that button more than once. Just press it and wait. It's just added security. Okay, so just wait for it to open. On the main page, it's just going to give you a summary of what you have available in your wallet. Okay, and you can see there's my voucher balance. So if I want to make a payment, let me go to my, sorry, not create, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. My vouchers. Just give it a second. It might be frustrating for us that are used to everything, but yeah, okay. All right, so there's my voucher. If I go to the right, just want to see if I can close this box that's in my way. Sorry. Okay. On the right-hand side, I've got 3 little dots. If you're on your cell phone, you must just scroll all the way to the right-hand side, and you'll see it says transfer voucher. So I want to send money to my husband or to my daughter who's studying in Stellenbosch or whatever. So I want, what is that username? Again, it's the country code and the person's cell phone number that's linked. That's basically the account number. I'm just going to put in my husband's. 3, 6, 8. You don't even have to put an ID in there. And what is the amount that I want to transfer? I want to send him 10 Rand, 1,000 Rand, whatever is available in my wallet. And I say transfer voucher. And as soon as this transaction has gone through, he receives an SMS that says Maxine has just sent you 10 Rand. And he goes into his wallet and he can immediately see it. Okay, so now it's updating. That's how easy it is. So 2 ways, if you're spending at a major merchant, instead of swiping your card, you're just going to type in your voucher number. You see the voucher number, if I can show it with my, here, it's 168. The 168s are the spendable ones. The other ones are commissions and things coming through on the passive income side. If I want to collapse it, I just click on my dots again and I say collapse vouchers, and it becomes one voucher. Immediately I get a new SMS that says this is your new voucher number and this is your new balance. And I can now go out and go shop. I can go into Dis-Chem and say I want to go buy my herbal teas. I get to the till, I tell her I'm paying with a voucher, and I just type in my voucher number and the deal is done. It's really as easy as that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Are there any questions so far?
Maxine, do you still want me to share all the companies that are currently on board?
Yes, please, Monica, if you can do that, yes.
All right, so on takeaways and food, it's Burger King, Hungry Lion, KFC, Mug and Bean, Nando's, Ocean Basket, Panarottis, Rocco Mamas, Steers, Spur, Vida, Cafe, and Wimpy. On fuel, we've got Total Energies, and Astron is also on its way. A lot of paperwork has been done, but the integration process is still going on. Then online buying, such so if you order online from, say, Steers, for instance, and Mr. D has to do the delivery, you will automatically earn from your purchase at Steer, and then also from your payment to Mr. D, for instance. Takealot is also on board. On medical side, it's Dis-Chem and Clicks. There is a safety merchant already that's not very known, but Select PPE is that one. On grocery side, it's almost all of them. Boxer, Checkers, the OBC, those are the SPASA shops where they would fill up these stocks. So the OBCs, OK Foods, Pick n Pay, ShopRite, Spar, and USave. Now, what I must mention here is Spar and Pick and Pay, Spar and OK Foods. They're usually owned by private owners. So head office is on board. And when we approach, I'm currently busy with OK Foods and Spar in my area. They're privately owned and they are in conjunction with the head office going into the process of becoming then separate merchants under OK or Spar. So that is still a work in progress, but it's in our hands. We're the pioneers of this system. So whoever you want to bring on board, where you spend money, you bring them on board. It's basically what it is. Then electronics is Incredible Connection and Hi-Fi Corporation. And then the Massmart company, which includes, I think, Builders Warehouse. Oh my gosh, now I forgot the other one. I think there's four companies that is connected with Massmart. They're all also busy in the integration process, and then Pepkor is also currently on in integration. All paperwork has been done, and Ackermans Ackermans actually already accepts. They accept the Y code voucher. So one of my community people actually went and bought something with her Starbucks voucher, and just by guiding them into paying a Y code, a transaction went through and she did earn money. So there is a huge amount of big merchants that we in any case use already on board, and we just want to bring in the food lover markets and the mom and pops and the little coffee shops and whoever is in our area to where we can spend money and earn back from it. Because I tell you, if you start earning money from the system, and you have to buy something at a shop that doesn't or is not on board yet, it's kind of I'm robbing myself. So yeah, it's very exciting. I yield.
Thanks, Monica. Okay, I've just got a few questions here. The one question was, can you deposit cash into your wallet? Yes, you can. Just remember, when you deposit cash, okay, let me explain it to you like this. When you pay it into your wallet, it's going into the Cellbucks Netbank account. And from there, they distribute it to the wallets and they make it digital. Okay, so just understand that. So when you do deposit with Netbank a cash amount, there is a fee that they do charge for cash deposits, but I think everybody knows that. Yes, Gail, there is no option on the website yet. And don't use the word register, sign up. We're not giving our rights away. There is a guide, a setup guide that I created, and I'm trying to get through all the emails, but a lot of the emails are bouncing back. So not everybody's getting it yet, and I've still got about, I think, 260 emails to still send. So what I would suggest is that I upload that guide to the website. Thanks, Gail. I'll do that after the meeting. Just make a note of that. The guide. And when you open that guide, it's a PDF. There's a link that you just click, and you don't fiddle with anything else. You just put in your personal information. And once you've concluded the signing up process, you get a welcome SMS that says welcome on board, and your wallet is automatically created and you get your PIN code. Option on the website. Let me see if there's anything else. All the people sending my money.
You've got hands up.
If you want to use a system, you must have a wallet. Yes. Okay. I can't see who's got hands up. Let me just go through the list here.
AB's got hands up. I yield.
Okay, thanks. AB, please go ahead and ask a question.
Okay. Good morning, Maxine, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Maxine, I just needed clarity on one or two things, and then I have a suggestion to make when I'm done. Maxine, tell me, in a case whereby you are given a voucher code when you buy, and when you get to the till, they're saying it's not going through, what then should happen?
Okay, we've got very good support in any case if that should happen. I don't think that happens quite often. It might be that the teller is not trained. If you're in a smaller town, we've seen that that might happen, that they're not trained fully. Then you just guide them through. But if it does, that is rejected, just make sure that you do have enough funds in your voucher, you're not overbuying. And then there is a huge support system that you can just contact somebody while you're standing there. And all of that information is in the starter guide that I created. So all the WhatsApp groups that and the support from Salbucks, the support from BcoinWise, depending on what the issue is, all those support systems are in place.
Okay.
But we will tackle it. It's a new thing. And we will tackle it, if something like that should happen, then have my number, contact me if you have to. All right. Okay,
Okay,
and
I think
another
I'll do
question
that.
that you had?
Okay, another question. Maxine, this is a fantastic opportunity. I think that we should start to share with remember we're saying it's good when majority of us understand the power of being awakened. And we have just ordinary, simple people out there whom can benefit from this opportunity. How best can we simplify this for just a layman in the streets whom this can benefit? Maybe trying to make not the system simple, but the way it's been explained, we simplify it and maybe try to rope in various languages like Afrikaans. If we can have volunteers who can assist in translation and accommodate other African languages as well. I think it can spark interest from ordinary people. Maybe it's just my suggestion to say, kindly have a look at that. And if you need assistance, we are just a call away, we can assist. So it's one suggestion that I wanted to share with you, that can we have a look at that, simplify it, and then try to rope as many people and bring them on board as possible so that people understand the power of staying away from the cabal banks and using these other alternatives that are out there. Thank you so much for your lovely spirit and for always going out there for us and helping us. Thank you, Maxine.
Thank you. That's a brilliant idea. And it's so easy. All you say is, are you earning money back on everyday spending? And the answer is going to be no. So let me just show you. We're all earning money back. It's as easy as that. We're just going to change one habit. Just one habit. We're not going to swipe our cards anymore. We're going to use our digital wallets with a voucher number. That's it. That's all we need to translate into all the languages. It's really very simple and easy to use. Any other questions? I can't see
So
any.
there's Roger and Gail, and then there's another 2 or 3 questions in the chat. Yield, Roger.
Okay, Roger, go.
Thanks, really. Yeah, just as to mention, for example, I wrote down my voucher number because I don't like carrying my phone with me. But in the interim, I deposited some money into the Salbucks account and the voucher number changed. So when I got to Checkers, the voucher number wasn't applicable anymore. So just so that men and women know that if they do something, if they add money or something, excuse me, if they do deposit, the voucher number does change. So they need to take the latest voucher number. And with that, I yield.
Yes, thanks, Roger. Okay, Gail, you go next.
Okay, what I'd like to know, because it's on a digital platform and it's basically connected to our cell phones and also the Nedbank banking system indirectly, what happens when they shut everything down and they lock us out because they've still got the control? What happens then?
Okay, good question. Good question, because somebody asked me that the other day as well. Remember, once you've deposited your money into that Nedbank account and it's been split into wallets, it becomes digital. It's not fiat anymore. So if Standard Bank and Capitec shut down today, I've still got my value in my digital wallet and I can still go do my shopping. It's outside of the system. I yield.
But it's still digital. What I'm meaning, it's still digital. So you've got to go to Checkers and basically scan the voucher using your phone, if I understand this procedure correctly. So,
Okay, so
when they shut all our systems because they're wanting to take cash away because cash, they don't want us, they want us in their control. My point is this, when they shut down, because they've got the power to do it, and they shut down our cell phones, then how do we operate then? Are you?
Okay, I think yeah, okay, let me give you my understanding. As long as we've got internet and I can still access my wallet, whether I've got my phone or my laptop or anything, as long as the internet is still running, they can't shut us down. But they can close my bank account or freeze my bank account and not allow me to use any money in my bank. But this is not a bank. So as long as I've got internet and I can still access my wallet, like Roger now said, he wrote down his voucher number, and I do that as well. Before I go shopping, I actually go see, I condense all my vouchers, so that's one. I write it quite nice and big on a piece of paper because I'm also not young anymore and I don't wear my glasses all the time. So when I get to the, where I can type in, I can actually read it easily or give it to the lady at the till to put in for me. But I think the problem here, Gail, if I'm hearing correctly, it's not like they can just lock everything in because that fiat money has now been split into digital, into the different wallets. It's not the same as the bank that can just close your account and you don't have access. But I will take that up with Dawn. Can I do that? Just to double check on that.
Yes, please. And then I've got another question is, can you then have your salary deposited onto this platform? Because as you know, with the new rules and regulations of the banks changing their terms and conditions, they're basically giving permission. Like if SARS wants to access your account and they want to zap all your money out of your bank account, they've got the authority to do that. So if you want to bypass that because they're getting desperate for money now, I was hearing it on a Zoom in the week. I think it was on Monet's Zoom. You can just correct me, Monette. But I think it was on our Zoom on Wednesday where it was stated that SARS is getting incredibly desperate for money because people just can't afford it anymore. And the fact that people are losing their jobs. So would it be a platform where you can basically have your salary directly deposited, or does it go to Nedbank and you have to convert it into a voucher form? Would that be a possibility in the future? Because I think we need to move there because they're going to start grabbing whatever they can grab. I yield.
Yes. Okay, so remember, we're all starting to use the system. Once we're all using the system, I can pay anybody any salary, whoever I want to. And that's exactly what we're doing with TSASA, with the different committees. So the funds will be deposited into the sub-wallets, and from there I can pay Rally, and I can pay Monica, and I can pay Khomotso, and everything that we need to do, we can pay directly. So yes, from that point of view, yes, it's possible, and it is already possible. However, in the meantime, let's say you work at a butchery and they still want to pay you as an EFT. Into your bank account. You can just tell them, listen, please, can you just pay this into my wallet? So it's the Nedbank account, and this is the referral number that you must use. That's always your cell phone number, the 27 cell phone number. If they can deposit it straight into there, it doesn't even go into your bank account. I yield.
Fantastic. Thank you. I yield.
If I can just get a question in quickly before Manette comes on. Mama Mapula Gohana Mazuri asked the question, can other people from other countries open up wallets
with
the digital platform?
Yes, at this stage, we actually opened Lesotho. They are busy with the other African countries. Namibia is also not on board. They are working on that. There's some issue with the Forex payments and the cell phone towers there. But Lesotho is on board. I know Sipay wanted to be here, but she does have a function on now. But there's nothing that's stopping the Lesotho assembly of doing exactly the same thing. But at this stage, yes, if you've got a South African cell phone number, and you stay in Eswatini, for instance, but you do most of your shopping in South Africa, you can use the system. If you're in Lesotho, yes, definitely that's open. Okay. I know there was another question there about a joining fee. Okay, so by having a wallet doesn't cost anything. However, we want to be structured inside the Bitcoin-wise structure where the fees are being distributed between the users and you're actually earning back. So yes, to get into that structure, it's a once-off 350 Rand. Once off, never again. So then you get placed into that system and the earning potential. now becomes reality and we can start working on stopping poverty.
Maxine,
Yes,
sorry,
Monette.
350, not 250.
Did I say 250?
250.
350.
350, yes.
350. Sorry, I'm sure I said
Okay,
350.
so we've got Monette's hand up. I yield.
Monette, please go.
Panza, thank you. I was having quite an argument, not an argument, quite a discussion this morning about digital IDs. So being with Nedbank and these digital IDs that are coming in, what if Nedbank closes this down because they don't like what they're seeing? Because it's still Nedbank who is of the bank.
Okay, if I go back to share screen, let me just go back quickly, Monette. I don't know why Nedbank would want to close this down. Let me just share quickly again. I'm going to just mouse. I'm just going to go to the Cellbox.
While you're looking at them, Maxine, I'm just going to say something. My opinion is the following, Monette, is I think that the world knows that there are so many of us waking up that they will create platforms for us to use. Because at the end of the day, as the systems are shutting down, which I think is happening behind the scenes fast and furiously, and people are moving to the alternative platforms, the corporations indirectly are still going to want to benefit from us. Because remember, we are the masses. And I think that they will endeavor to give us what we want at the end of the day until we are totally independent and we're up and running and we can create our own independent system. I yield.
Thanks, Gail. Okay, so if you can see here, all of this money is moving through Nedbank currently on this alternative system. More than 60 million transactions and over 15 billion ZAR value transferred. Cellbox has been running for 12 years. Why on earth would Nedbank want to close this account if so much money is moving through here?
No, I'm not saying Nedbank would want to close it. They're wanting to push digital ID. So if you don't comply with the digital ID, what would the repercussion be with being with Nedbank? Because it's still part of the big system. So I'm not saying that Nedbank would want to shut it down, but it's like we know what happened in Canada with the truckers, with the trucker convoy. They just froze people's accounts when they were going to fund GoFundMe. So what I'm saying is Nedbank is still behind the thing of saying that, you know, they're also pushing digital ID. So if you don't comply to digital IDs, would this make any difference to this? Because they're trying to squeeze us in. And I agree with Gail, but I mean, the thing is, we still need to ask the questions, because I know that 3 billion signatures, 3 million, not billion, 3 million signatures against digital ID went out to in the UK, and they're just ignoring it and they're still pushing it. So I'm just wondering if you're using that, because we are, as you're hearing, we're having discussions about getting out of the system. So I'm just wondering if Nedbank is the bank that they use. Say, for example, if we had to start with our whole groups as a crowdfunding, would they still work with us if we could push funds that way? I'm just thinking, because Nedbank is still Nedbank, so I'm just wondering on that side, is there any way that the digital ID threat would cause any issues on this side?
Okay, Monette, I'm going to ask that question directly to Don and see if they've got any other backup plans if that should happen. So thank you for that. I will get back to you on that, but let's definitely follow up on that. I've got a note made.
Thank
If
you.
I may,
And then
if
I just
I
want, okay, sorry.
Minute. At this stage, Cellbox is the only one that is actually dealing with Nedbank. So Cellbox become the gateway, and Cellbox has to comply to Nedbank's rules. But none of the Cellbox members needs that to be compliant in that way, because Cellbox is the only one that is accountable towards Nedbank, if that makes sense. So none of the members in the group need to comply to any rules and regulations via Nedbank. If that it's a small bit to know, but it is part. We are kind of protected mostly, but it would be good to know what Don says about this. I yield
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Because my next point is that can we look at the copy of the terms and conditions that are in there? Because at the moment I'm looking at all the banking terms and conditions and it is not looking very pretty. And I hear what you're saying, Monica, about the fact that Nedbank, I mean, it's only, the Celsius. I'm also the first time hearing it. I've been pushing it on the group. It's, I hear that they're the only ones, but they can get pressure if they are using Nedbank and they're using their facility. As soon as the pressure comes in to say that your members need to comply, because that's obviously how they're trying to get us. So sorry, I'm just checking all the boxes. I yield on that.
If I
Okay,
may.
Monica, Monette, I just want to say that the only place where your terms and conditions really come into play is when you sign up as a merchant. And I've got that document here, and I can actually forward it to you, and you can go through it. I've combed it. There's nothing funny in there. It's just to use their services. But okay, Raleigh, would you like to say
Okay,
something?
I think it's a very important question regarding Nedbank. Okay. Remember now, as we've learned, that all corporations that are incorporated are by law compelled to comply. Now, whether now Cellbax is using the bank, what Manette is saying is correct. If the bank forces Cellbax to say you will comply, what will be the strategy? Because that is why you are on banking and not me. We need to find a way to comprehend for the possibility. Again, we've got to be proactive, not reactive. So all these things that we are facing now, we need to make sure that we have the ability to protect the people and to protect their money. And definitely the Canadian one that Monette mentioned is a prime example. Okay, when they did that to the truckers, I was part of the COVID investigation. They were very ruthless. Okay, so and my question was then, why would that organization that does the GoFunding comply? So we did give Don some information regarding the alternative unincorporated banking concept. I have not received any response yet. Maybe Max has, but we will definitely follow up because I made that point very clear that if they can give us direction on how to create an unincorporated bank that is lawful, okay, and does not have to be complied to rules based on the RSA corporation, then we'll have our protection. On that, I'm going to yield.
Thanks, Raleigh. Yeah, and just to add on to that, when we mentioned that to Don, I know Raleigh said the ideal would be for us to create our own bank. So in the interim, what we've got a virtual treasury, and that takes us away from the normal cabal rules of having a bank. So having the virtual treasury inside Cellbucks protects us in that sense. But yes, we'll definitely take that up with Don. Thank you. I just want to go through the questions and the notes as well. For those in Stellenbosch, Go Natural just moved to a new bigger shop. Okay, so there's a merchant that needs to come on board. If you have a little business and you want to do the merchant sign up, there's no extra fee because you've already paid your $350 for your personal wallet. Then Monica and myself will then assist everybody with the paperwork for coming on board as a merchant, just by the way. Nikki, yeah, it will definitely, the recording will be made available. Okay, there's no comment.
Max, just on that, they want to know exactly where can they get the recording. So if we can just tell them where we can get it, I yield.
Okay, once we've got the recording done, it will be shared on the TSASA Telegram group, the public group. I will also share it in my Humanitarians Africa group. Will everybody be able to access everything there? Or is there an alternative suggestion for where you want us to share this?
Can you share it with me and I will share it through to my groups that couldn't make it today that I invited? So if you can just send it to me, then I'll just post it on the group. So Nico and then we'll get it from there.
Okay, great. Thanks, Monette. Appreciate that. Yes, okay, so everybody that uses the system, you must have a wallet, yes. Remember, it's a ecosystem, and you all must have the same wallet system. Yeah, okay, that's answered. Yeah, Namibia is not open yet, but Lesotho is definitely open. I know that for a fact. Okay, Gail, yeah, we will share it there. Oh, just another thing, if you've already have a Bitcoin Wise membership, let me get the name right, then you've already got your wallet. So you don't have to do this twice, just for the record. Yes, I'm working with Sipe and Lesotho. We want to duplicate the system there. Okay, Monica's on the ball there with the answers. Thank you, Monica. Okay. Anybody else with questions?
Yes, Maxine.
Yes, please go
May
ahead.
I?
Yes.
My pleasure. My name is Mope from Lesotho. I'm happy to hear that Sipe is in the process that now Lesotho we can actually open the wallet. However, I just want to get clarity. If now I'll be on the same level with you in my understanding that the only charges that we have is only when depositing money into the net bank account, also the charge for the wallet. From there, when making transactions, there's no charge. I just want to get clear with
Okay,
that.
just to answer, with the depositing into your wallet, there shouldn't really be charges unless you're going to deposit cash at an ATM. That's when the bank usually charges you for a cash deposit. But your normal EFT, if I do an EFT from Capitec, for instance, into the Nedbank account, which will then become my wallet, there's not really fees for that. It's just your normal banking fees. But the only and then also when you're transacting in between the members and you're paying or buying from this one and sending money to that one, there's no fee there, by the way. That's completely free. So it's not like the banks. It's only the 350 once off, and that doesn't come to us, and it doesn't go to the Lesotho Assembly, it doesn't go anywhere. That goes to the Bitcoin Wise infrastructure so that we can start earning back from the money that everybody's spending, that transaction fee. So it's only 350 once off. I hope that answers your question.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Right, Zizwe, and then there's a question from Maria.
Okay, Zizwe, please go.
Right, everyone. I just wanted to check in terms of the transfer into the Nedbank account or the cash deposit into the Nedbank account. Are there any limits in as far as that is concerned? And would there be any, because I know the banks sometimes, due to either whatever law, FICA or whatever law is, the minute, let's say you put now 50,000 Rand cash into that Nedbank account, they start following you and trying to find out, or they start saying, oh, okay, this person says it's not working, that information ends up with SARS and all the stuff. Is that part of, is there a way that you're not going to be questioned, or are there any limits, in terms of that, tracking the money? Even though once it gets to the wallet, it can't be tracked, but just that part.
Very, very good question. I'm going to bring it up with Don, but they shouldn't be, because we've got the moguls like Pick and Pay moving billions on a daily basis using the system. So my gut feel says no, but that's not factual. But I will definitely ask Don that question. Thank you, Sizwe.
Okay, Max or Dingus must please put in the link for the Starbucks. Okay, and then Maria asked the question, please explain the benefit community. Just give me a sec here. Please explain the benefit community spending, which I'm not understanding. What is it?
Okay, so if you have told your family members about this new system of using the wallet and not using your card to swipe, and they've also told their people, so now you've got 50 people in your community that are also using the system. That portion of the transaction fee that usually goes back to the bank, which is now going to Cellbucks, they take a portion of that and they distribute it between everybody in your community. It's not huge amounts. Let me be very straight with you. It starts very small. My first payment was 32 cents for the month. Okay. It's now up to over 50 Rand. And I've only really started using the system for about 2.5 months, almost 3 months now. But the more people are using it, And the more you multiply this, if we're looking at long term, you can literally run your whole household. In a year from now, you will have passive income coming in every single month as long as everybody is using the system. I hope that answers your question. I yield. Okay, there's a question from Sue. Know your customer with digital currency accounts are an issue with people in South Africa. Sue, no, we've never experienced that. If you follow the sign-up process, it asks you for your address, it asks you for your ID number, but there's no scanning of documents or anything like that. Yes, thank you, Monica. No KYC needed. Okay, fantastic. Anybody else with hands
If I may.
up?
Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
here's the question. If, let's say, the SARS or the National Treasury requests information from Cellbox to see what's going on, would they have the authority to do so? And will Cellbox be forced to give their client base or their database of all the financing that's been taking place within the platform? I yield.
Well, really, if we come back to the meeting that we had with Don, it was explicitly said that they're not a bank. They're just a system where things can move into and out to, but they're not a bank. So the rules around Cellbox is very different to a normal banking system. But it's a very good question. We can just ask Don that again. Thanks. Okay, okay, anybody else?
There's a question from David.
If I paid the 200 some months ago, but for various other reasons didn't. David, yes. Is it David Masterton? Is that the correct David, or is this a different
No,
David?
David M. It's David M.
Okay, just confirm with me. Just unmute your mic, David, if it's you. David Masterton. Okay, it sounds like David. Okay, David, you are already active on the system, so you don't have to pay anything. You're green, if I can put it that way. You don't have to pay anything extra in. You still joined it when it was very early days when I was still testing the system, so you're already on. So you don't need to repeat this process.
Okay, can it be used as a savings account? I yield.
Well, you're not going to be earning any interest on it, if that's actually what you're asking, Brenda. But it's a safe place to keep your monies. And remember, when you start earning back from the community, every time you tell somebody about it and they sign up, you also get a portion back. So your wallet's actually building up the monies. Just to give you a personal example, when I originally started looking at this, my parents-in-law were very, very ill and bedridden. And I joined, but I just never looked into it. I didn't have time. But they both passed on now. And just in that 2.5 months' time that it was just lying there, I started off with a bang. When I logged in again, I had 450 Rand in my wallet and I didn't do anything. So, yes, you're not going to earn interest, but you're definitely going to be earning rewards. So, yes, you can then use it in that sense as a savings account. I yield. Okay. All right. I don't see any, okay, so there are a few latecomers. Yes, we will definitely share the Zoom. I'm going to send it to Monette for her group, and we're going to share it on the TSASA public Telegram group, and I will also share it on the Humanitarians Africa group. It's a wonderful opportunity for us. If you've got a small business and you also want to start using the system, please make contact with myself or with Monica. We're on the Treasury. Rally's also on Treasury, but he's busy with the litigation and he's just too busy to do that. So Monica and myself will assist anybody, with any other questions or issues going forward. And then I think it's basically a wrap, unless there are...
Sorry, there's another question from Mapula Guana. Is it possible to open an account and deposit money later? I yield.
Okay, yes, it is. But if you're on the system for 2 months and you haven't paid, they will automatically remove you from the system. So yes, if you are planning on, for instance, paying on the 15th or at the end of the month, yes, you can already get on board, but you will only be actively functional and earning, your back if you are paid up. So you have to be green. You'll see in your back office, if you go through the guide, your name actually shows in green. So you have to have paid to get the benefits. I hope that answers your question. I yield.
If I also may just add here, none of what BitcoinWise offers through Sellbucks interferes with any of the current reward systems of any of the merchants. In other case, what that means is if I buy at clicks, I still get my clicks cash back, and I get on BitcoinWise the payment processor fee that has been shared with me. So it's kind of, earning back double. So all the reward systems that are currently in place, that is white labeled by any of the merchants that we use, still works. It doesn't fall away. I yield.
No, thanks, Monica. Yes, I always forget about that. Any last questions?
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand. Just at the back of what she was just mentioned now. So the other rewards programs from the other merchant, if you still get that, there's no need to will the voucher. The voucher just becomes your card, basically.
Exactly.
In other
It's
ways.
just the way that you're paying. That's different. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Everything
All
else
right.
stays in place, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other last questions before everybody can go and enjoy their Saturdays? Everybody happy?
Thanks, Maxine. I think I'll join. So if you guys can just send me the details as well, how we get contact, then I'll also add to the group. But I'm willing to give it a shot because, yeah, something new. So if you can send me details, I'm definitely in. And then where we pay out 352, etc.
Everything
Thanks.
will be in the guide. Everything is in there. It's easy.
Okay, I know nothing about wallets or anything, so even if there's a group that says the same, then we might just set up another training session. But this wallet story is, I'm in the Bluetooth era. We didn't call it Bluetooth. So yeah, I would need help with that, but I am willing to give it a shot.
Okay, fantastic, Monette. Thanks. Okay, and Joseph as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not a fundi with websites, but I'm going to try and add the guide to the website. I think that's the first thing I need to do after this meeting. So that when you go to TSASA.Africa and go to, I think I'll put it under the education part. In which to make a note under education, where you will then be able to download the PDF. And everything is there step by step, as easy as I could have made it. And if there's any questions, Monica and my details are on there, so you can contact us with any questions. Can you discover those are working over and above it? Yes, Maria, which means if you've got your discount card, you still get your rewards. Nothing changes. It's literally just the way that you pay. Instead of swiping your card, you're going to just pay with your voucher number. All right. There's Vakila as well. Pleasure. Yes. And there's definitely power numbers. And the more of us that start using the system, the sooner we see change. Okay, if there aren't any other questions, thank you everybody for being here. Just give it a last few minutes if anybody's got a question, and then we can say goodbye. Okay, wonderful. Okay, yes. Okay, I love all the emojis. Okay, guys, thank you very much. We'll just wait for Rally to send me the recording and I will forward it to everybody to distribute as well. All right. Have a fantastic weekend and we'll chat again soon. Thanks, David. Bye.
Thank you,
Same
everybody.
to you. Thank you, same to you. Love you.
Bye.
Same with you,
Bye,
Maxine.
Maxine. Love you. Bye,
Thanks,
Maxine.
Maxine.
Bye, and the
Bye
team.
all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Max,
Bye.
Max, just stay behind for me, please.